Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and today is Friday, May 31st, 2024, and it's time for my weekly gardening update. I haven't gotten a whole hell of a lot done this past week, so I don't have a decorative gardening update. This week was mostly just cleaning up, like weeding, pulling tall grass, other stuff like that. So not a whole lot. I do have some updates on my little experiments though, so stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I got some weeding done by where the garlic is. So yeah, that's mostly the stuff I've been doing this week. Oh my God. Look at my little herb garden in here. It's going crazy. We were having really hot weather again. And then this week it cooled down a lot. It's going to warm back up a little bit again, but oh my gosh, just my plants are loving the cooler weather. So I'm thinking it's looking really good. That's the lovage. Look at that dill. It's amazing. Pay no attention to that dog behind the curtain. Let's see. Got to get I had one out of all the valerian seeds I planted. It's the only one that came up. I don't know why, but I got to get that planted. I have more lovage, more dill. Petunias that just don't seem to be getting anywhere. These are my russet potatoes. Aren't they doing great? So just hang on. Let's see. That's all the stuff I've been picking up. I'm going to just use it as mulch. Strawberries and blueberries, raspberries. No change really with those. They're about the same. I'm getting a new batch of strawberries, but that's about it. So we're going to go into the outdoor garden. Okay, so in the outdoor garden, I have been, pulling the grass got really tall in here, and I'm just putting it in that bucket. I'm going to put it someplace and eventually use it for mulch. And so I've also been putting down the cardboard, which I have to keep wetting. And it's eventually going to kill the grass in between, where my walkways are. So I don't know what I'm going to do after that. But the cool weather is really... Get my shadow out of the way. Look at my kale. Isn't it doing great? It's finally picking up. Brussels sprouts are doing well. Again, I hope they can get to the point of producing before it gets too hot around here. And the same for one of my favorite veggies here, the broccoli. So that's doing pretty good. Still got my lettuce. We've been eating lettuce, having salads. Oh my God, so good. There is nothing like, homegrown food. We really have been enjoying the lettuce. Looks like we have somebody about to bolt over there. This is my mustard. Still doing good. Let's see. Oh, my neighbor's father stopped over yesterday while I was working out here in the garden. And he asked about the garden. He says, is it worth the few bucks you save at from the grocery store to do a garden? So first of all, it's way more than a few bucks, especially with all the salad my family eats. I said, and yes, it is. I said, but I love gardening. And I said, it is so much healthier for you too. And it's nice to just go out in the backyard and pick some fresh food. These are my carrots. They're getting tall. I checked a few of them, and their roots is finally starting to get somewhere. Now here, these are the tomatoes I put out last week. And the spinach I told you it wasn't growing, it wasn't doing anything. So I planted the tomato plants last week in the bud. And oh my God, look at the difference. They're growing. They're doing really, really good. So I'm finally getting somewhere with those. This one has flowers on it. What is that one? That might be a Russo. I think that's a Russo Siciliano. That's one of my sauce tomatoes. So that's got... And it's weird because I did buy some starts. San Marzano over here. They're doing good. But it seems like anything I raised from seeds that I started in winter are doing better than what I bought at the nursery as starts. And I did back there, if you can see it, I put in a couple more of these little spinach plants. These are what they look like, those over there, when I put them in. And in no time, they just started picking up and growing. So let's see. Oh, these are my Amish sugar snap peas. They are growing like crazy. It's typically at this point I start, oh yes, getting flowers. Can you see it? So now I'm getting flowers here. These peas, they taste good. They're wonderful. But those over there, these are another snap pea. The Tom Thumbs, like I've told you about. You guys only get 8 inches tall unless somehow another pea sneaks in there. I don't know how that happened. But these have flowers. Let's see, can you see them? All over the place. So I'm just about to get a harvest of these peas, and these are snap pea, and beautiful. I mean, if you don't have space, I can't recommend these peas enough. Tom Thumb peas. I got mine at seedsaversexchange.org. So then over here, these are my green arrow peas. These are not a snap pea. I planted these last. So they're not flowering quite yet, but they're doing quite well. This, oh my God, this is by far my favorite lettuce. Look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, and they just grow so quickly. They're just beautiful. And as you can see, we already have harvested some. And the first couple I harvested are starting to get some leaves back. Doing really good. I love this. My family isn't really into the butterhead bib, so I love it. I'm not going to plant it again. I'm going to switch to maybe like, not radicchio. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Yeah, a crispier lettuce. They like crispier lettuces, which this one is. This is a crispier lettuce. So, my God, they just keep growing and growing. Yeah, I mean, everything's doing great right now. I hope it stays that way. Excuse me. So we're going to go into the greenhouse. Okay, everybody, we are now in the greenhouse, which I have recently started calling my laboratory because I'm doing a lot of experimenting. So, this box here, on May 9th, I planted flamenco tomato seeds and some basil seeds, and they are coming up and they are growing very quickly. So what I have noticed is with both the basil and the tomatoes, doing a direct sow in the greenhouse is much quicker. It's easier and quicker. Now, of course, with a greenhouse like this, and I have no heat in here, I cannot do it like in the middle of winter because I live in a cold climate. So I could start some in winter, like after Christmas is when I usually start by seed. And like I said, the ones I do by seed seem to do much better than what I buy at a greenhouse, the starts. So that I'm going to be doing this. So I'm hoping to stretch out my harvested tomatoes by doing this. So these will be, the last harvest. My carrots are these ones here. They are also pretty much like the ones outside, and they are getting close finally to being able to be harvested. Now over here are my lima beans, and as you can see, I have them dusted with diatomaceous earth. Seems to be really the only thing that protects them. Something started to attack them and eat them. But when I put this on, nothing eats them. Now here are my Roma tomatoes. As you can see, they have flowers on them. So these are doing quite well. These are another sauce tomato. Over here, I'm going to put more peppers in here, but this is the Chocolate Beauty, the only one I could get to grow out of all the seeds that I planted. This is the only one. It's beautiful. Here's my one and only jalapeno that survived. Why, I don't know. My sugar pumpkins, which I need to plant. I am behind in some of my planting, way behind. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to plant more tomatoes, or not tomatoes, pumpkins, because I want to can up a bunch of pumpkin puree. This box here is well, it's the start of the tomatoes that I am propagating by rooting. Now this is the one I planted last week. It is taken well and it is growing quickly. I have another one I will be putting in here today or maybe over the weekend, and there is more coming. So you know, when I pinch off like the suckers and the bottom of my tomato plants, I just put them in water to root them to make more tomatoes. So this is another good way to extend my harvest season. I had given up on my pickling cucumbers. I'm going to try them in another location and hopefully they work, and I am behind with planting that. I really want pickles to make, well, not pickles, I want to make pickles. I want to put up pickles, so I need cucumbers. I was hoping to grow them myself. If not, I'm going to have to buy them from someone local. This is the box. I had to thin things out because it was getting too crowded. Everybody was getting too big, but this is my first box that I planted, the one where I left the window open. And these two were my only two survivors. This one over here, that I believe is a Mexico midget. It just kind of stopped growing. And I did not think it was going to survive. But then after a while, it just picked up, and now it's caught up with this one, which is a flamenco tomato. So they're doing really well. My little bell peppers in here, they're finally starting to perk up, these little seedlings. Let's see. Oh, remember last week I told you guys this is Cleveland sage, and I did not know what these back here are? Well, this is devil's claw. And I did plant some, but not with the Cleveland sage, so I don't know how that happened. And the weird thing is I did that indoors in the winter. So I'm going to plant this in the devil's claw in a hanging basket and hang it here in the greenhouse. This is more lima beans, and as you can see, something got these plants, but I did sprinkle them with diatomaceous earth. Over here I planted more seeds yesterday for tomatoes, the flamenco, and I also put some nasturtium in here too. So we'll see what happens with that. Here is where I transplanted some tomatoes because, well, like I said, I had to thin them out. I have no room outside yet, so I'm hoping to get that soon. So they're doing fantastic. They really are. I have some more over here that I transplanted. Everybody's doing great. And so that's, look at that tomato plant there. It's just, man, it's a lot bigger than yesterday. So anyways, I believe that's all I have. I mean, I really have been concentrating more on cleaning up the yard this week. So I think I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.